What if I told you the #1 reason fish are ignoring your lure has nothing to do with its color, its action, or your retrieve speed? What if the problem is something you do every single time you go out on the water without a second thought? Today, we're tackling a huge, overlooked topic. Does the sunscreen on your hands make your bait completely invisible or even repulsive to fish? The answer is going to shock you, and it might just be the reason your catch rate has been suffering. So let me ask you this right now. Do you think a little sunscreen can really make that much of a difference? Let me know in the comments and then stick around, because we're about to find out the truth. For generations, fishermen have focused on scent. We know not to get gasoline on our hands. Old-timers would rub their lures with anise oil or garlic. We understand that unnatural smells can spook fish. But in the modern world, we have a whole new arsenal of chemicals we smear on ourselves every day. The most common one for any outdoorsman is sunscreen. We put it on to protect our skin, a smart move, but we almost never consider what happens next. We apply it, and 5 minutes later, we're tying on a new lure, handling soft plastics, and casting out. We've been so focused on sun protection that we forgot to ask the most important question. What does the fish think about it? Let's start with the absolute basics. You're out on the boat, the sun is beating down. The first thing you do is grab that bottle of SPF 50 and slather it on. You get your face, your neck, your arms, and of course, your hands. Then you rig up your line. You've just transferred a layer of complex chemicals directly onto your bait. Now think like a fish. Their world is all about scent and taste. A bass or a walleye can detect substances in the water in parts per million. It's how they find food and avoid danger. Their sense of smell is thousands of times more sensitive than ours. To them, the water is a highway of information, and you just put up a huge, stinking billboard. So what's in this chemical soup we call sunscreen? We're talking about ingredients like oxybenzone, avobenzone, and octinoxate. These aren't natural lake scents. They are foreign, man-made compounds that dissolve in the water and create a scent trail leading right back to your lure. Before we even get to sunscreen, let's talk about its evil cousin that's often in the same bottle, bug spray, specifically the chemical known as DEET. This stuff is notorious among hardcore anglers, and for a very good reason. DEET is a powerful solvent. If you don't believe me, spray some on a styrofoam cup and watch it melt. Now, imagine what that chemical does to your soft plastic worm or your crankbait's clear coat. It chemically alters it, and the fish can absolutely detect that something is wrong. It screams poison. But let's get back to just pure sunscreen. One of the most obvious things it does is create an oily sheen on the water's surface. You've all seen it. That little rainbow slick that comes off your hands or your line. It's a dead giveaway that something unnatural is present. To a fish, this oily residue is a massive red flag. In nature, an oily sheen can mean decay or pollution. It's a signal to stay away. Your $10 lure is now sitting in the middle of a chemical warning sign that tells every fish in the area to keep its distance. And it's not just about the smell from a distance. Let's say a curious bass decides to investigate anyway. The moment it mouths that bait, it gets a taste of those chemicals. The reaction is instant. It will spit that lure out faster than you can even think about setting the hook. That's why you might be getting those quick, undetectable hits you can never connect with. Okay, but here's where it gets really crazy. This is the theory that could change how you see everything. It's not just about smell and taste, it's about sight. The main job of sunscreen is to block ultraviolet or UV light. And guess what? Many species of fish see in the UV spectrum. It's a huge part of how they perceive the world. It helps them see the contrast of their prey against the background of the water. It makes things pop visually for them. So when you handle your lure with sunscreen-covered hands, you are coating it in a substance designed to absorb UV light. You are essentially taking away its visibility in a key light spectrum for fish. You're putting a stealth cloak on your bait. Think about it like this. You're a hunter wearing bright orange in the woods. You stand out. Now you put on full camouflage. You blend in. By rubbing UV-blocking chemicals on your lure, you might be giving it the perfect UV camouflage, making it fade into the background. This means that flashy, reflective lure you bought might lose its flash. The subtle color patterns designed to attract a bite become dull and lifeless in the fish's eyes. It just doesn't register as food anymore. It's just a blurry shape if they see it at all. Now, is there any proof of this? Absolutely. Scientific studies in tanks have shown that fish will actively avoid water sources contaminated with the chemicals found in sunscreen. They can sense it, and they don't like it. And the anecdotal evidence is overwhelming. Talk to any professional fishing guide. They'll tell you stories about clients who lather up with sunscreen and can't get a bite all day, while the person next to them who forgot their sunscreen is catching fish after fish. So what are you supposed to do? Just let yourself get a terrible sunburn? Absolutely not. Sun protection is critical. The solution isn't to stop using it, it's to be smarter about how you use it. Solution number 1 is simple. After you apply sunscreen, wash your hands. And I mean really wash them. Use a biodegradable, scent-free soap and scrub them thoroughly. This removes the vast majority of the chemical residue before you touch your gear. Solution number 2 is even better. Switch to an angler-safe sunscreen. These are usually mineral-based, using things like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. These ingredients are not oily solvents, they are physical blockers that sit on top of your skin. These mineral sunscreens don't create that oily slick in the water. They don't have the same harsh chemical signature that repels fish. They protect you from the sun without turning your bait into fish repellent. It's a simple switch that can make a world of difference. The final takeaway is this. Yes, the sunscreen on your hands is absolutely costing you fish. It's a combination punch of bad scent, bad taste, and potentially a cloaking effect that makes your lure invisible. The proof is in the results of those who are careful about it versus those who are not. So, let's wrap this up. We've established that the chemicals in your sunscreen can act as a repellent through smell and taste. But the biggest wow moment for me, the real game changer, is the idea that UV-blocking agents could be camouflaging your lure, making it visually disappear to the fish you're trying to catch. It's a staggering thought. This isn't just about spooking fish, it's about not even giving them a chance to see what you're throwing. This simple realization could fundamentally change your entire routine on the water. Thanks so much for watching. If this opened your eyes, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more content that breaks down the myths of fishing. Now, for the big question, have you ever suspected that sunscreen was hurting your fishing? Share your stories and experiences in the comments below. Let's talk about it.